Hey, welcome to another Money Today. Here to make another super important video that nobody will see. A few of you out there, you know who you are. You've been with me for a long time. And some of this is going to be rehashing, but it's good for everybody because you're going to forget just like I did. Oh my God. Circle, USDC was all created by the same people. This has been a plan forever. And I'm going to show you by the end of this video, if you don't understand the new central bank digital currency, how it's related to USDC and the Federal Reserve and the same old players and the people who created the digital infrastructure of China. They're all mixed up. It's all one thing, my friends. It's all one thing. And I've been telling everybody since the beginning of this channel, and you can go back and look at some of the early videos, have 100, 200 views, spelling all of this out. It's almost hilarious. And of course, behind it, as I'm realizing how important the World Economic Forum is, of course, the Linux Foundation, and Andreessen Horowitz, all in on this whole thing. It's like I said, it's kind of funny, really, when you look at it, because nobody realizes these things. So people have been sending this video to me and suggesting it. And of course, it does confirm a lot of what we've been talking about. But of course, it's very surface level. Oh, it's Goldman Sachs and BlackRock. He never mentions a lot of the things I'm going to talk about in this video. He never mentions Jim Breyer.
You serious?
Who really started Circle. Circle launches with $9 million from Jim Breyer, Excel, and General Catalyst. Well, we know Excel is Jim Breyer. So General Catalyst is, of course, tied to Jim Breyer. And here we are, Jim Breyer, who is on several committees on the World Economic Forum. And that's going to be another theme. I'm sorry to tell you, the World Economic Forum pops up very often in this one. So here's the mind map of Jim Breyer. If you go to our Discord, you will see all the mind maps here. So just join the Discord. It will be in the description, and you can come join the conversation there. So Jim Breyer, of course, very famous on this channel. Breyer Capital, IDG Capital, Excel Partners, starting all of the digital infrastructure for China. 2005, Breyer helped establish a joint venture between Excel Partners and China-based IDG Capital Partners, which happens to be him as well, a pioneering Chinese investment firm behind Baidu and Tencent. And who's the first picture you will see in IDG Capital Partners but Jim Breyer? And Baidu and Tencent, of course, Baidu is the Google of China. Tencent, many of you have heard of, which is WeChat, which is their everything platform. So, as I have told you guys many times, Jim Breyer and the West created all of the digital infrastructure for China. Many of you know who Steve Mnuchin is. His boy over there was Brian Brooks at One West Bank, way before they were into the Federal Reserve and the comptroller of the currency. You can go back to my video of August 10th, 2020, 127 views, talking about all of this and how Soros, Kamala Harris, all these old players are involved. Well, Brian Brooks, before becoming comptroller of the currency, was the legal guy for Coinbase and just so happened to work with Circle to develop USDC. So now we've got a tie already from Coinbase, USDC, and the comptroller of the currency. Keep that in mind. A digital dollar is now an inevitability. And this is back in 2019. Now here he is talking to Jeremy Allaire, and he is the comptroller of the currency at this point. And he literally never says that he helped develop the thing that Jeremy is talking about right now. So basically, these are just two guys that helped develop the same thing, talking about it, but acting like they're somehow separate. So then let's jump over to Bob Bench and Chris Giancarlo and the Digital Dollar Project. Now, that was one of the very first things I mentioned on this channel was the Digital Dollar Project and CBDCs. And the World Economic Forum, which at the time, I thought it's just this thing, I didn't realize just how enormous this was going to be. So let's hear from Chris Giancarlo real quick.
Bob is Assistant Vice President in charge of payment systems at the Boston Fed. Before going there, he was Chief Compliance Officer and Assistant General Counsel at Circle. He spent some time at the Office of the Controller of the Currency as an examiner earlier in his life.
All right. So, as you can see, this is not a coincidence. Come on. I mean, the guy at the Boston Fed, he was general counsel of Circle. And then he began his career as examiner at the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. Are you trying to give me a break? This has been a plan for a long time. None of this is coincidence. And so when you look at the Digital Dollar Project, it was created to do exactly what it's doing today, which create a central bank digital currency, which at the time when I was doing videos on this years ago, seemed like, we're just looking at it. We're just testing this out. I'm sorry, but it's a bunch of BS. This has been created from the beginning. And here's Chris Giancarlo, former chairman of the U.S. Commodities Futures Trading Commission. But some other very interesting commonalities between these people who happen to be on the Digital Dollar Project. Advisory Board of the Chamber of Digital Commerce. Now that is Hyperledger Linux Foundation partner. Daniel Gorfine, CFTC's first Chief Innovation Officer. So there we have that again, right? David Treat, the guy we love to talk about, who is the most connected person to, out of everyone, Board of Directors of Linux Foundation's Hyperledger Project, Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, Global Blockchain Business Council, which is the World Economic Forum, ID 2020 Alliance, a member of the World Economic Forum's Fourth Industrial Revolution Global Blockchain Council, and of course, advisor to the Chamber of Digital Commerce, Linux Foundation, of course. David also serves as the program advisor for the World Economic Forum's Digital Identity Initiative, so WEF again, and then Jennifer Lassiter, of course, World Economic Forum's Digital Currency Governance Consortium, and the Progressive Policy Institute's Mosaic Economic Project. Trust me, you do not want to know what that is. I went into that a little bit, and it's a Progressive Policy Institute, and you can only guess where that leads you to. So it's all going to get back to the World Economic Forum and wokeness and every other thing that we're seeing today. Called Bill Clinton's Idea Mill, the Progressive Policy Institute's policy analysis and proposals were the source for many of the new Democrat innovations. That's where things are. If you like it, great. I am not so much for this myself. So what I'm showing you here is that this has all been a plan for a very long time. And who is at the heart of it? And you can go with that however you want to. You can and take this information and use it in your own life. And as the famous critical drinker says,
anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.